Welcome back to another video. In today's episode, I'm going to shoot some 9-ball. Here's the rules though. I've got to break like Shane at the World Pool Championships. So that's no soft, weak baby breaks. I've got to go full throttle as hard as I can. Try and park the cue ball. Number 2, no ball in hand. I've got to play from where it is. So if I see a bank shot or a jump shot, I'll attack it. If it's an obvious safety shot, I'll play the safety and explain it. You get the picture. Let's get to it. You could see it was powerful, but I lost the cue ball. Nearly scratched in the side. Actually nearly went off the table, but we have a shot. Can't play it in the side. It's too much of a blind pocket and the pocket is very narrow. So obviously we're going in the corner. I've got a little bit of an angle. Let me just double check. So I can run for off this side rail and go there, or I could stop the cue ball here. Problem here is going to be this 5-ball, isn't it? Because wherever I land on this 3, if the 5 wasn't there and the cue ball was here, I could stun it off this rail and back over. So there's a little bit of thinking to do here. Just while I have another look. Okay. I think I'm going to leave myself long on the 3 just to draw back. So I'm just going to kill the cue ball. This will slide in nicely. Just to give myself a nice straight shot on the 3. Now you guys know I leave my misses in. I don't edit to make myself look better. So this is not an ideal shot for your 3rd shot. Well, it's my 2nd shot, but 3rd shot if you include the break. Full length, got to put a good stroke on this. As always, I walk straight in and film. You obviously know I'm not a professional anymore, so I'm not as good as I once was. So this is a scary shot. I don't feel good about this at all. I've got to stay still, put a good smooth delivery through the cue ball and get it moving back. If I make a mess of it and I still pot the 3, I've probably got a little billiard on. But I'm not playing for the billiard. I'm going to try and draw back up into this area. Boy, I've got to hit this one good. Yeah, I mean, I made a good pot, but probably moved on the shot as well. That is just sheer out of practice. Never really fancy getting the fizz on the cue ball. Now, let's have a look. So there you could see I didn't get the cue ball back. Now I just want to give you this view, because often when the camera shows you the table from one point of view, you always think it's easier than when you stood behind it. So for anyone thinking of cutting the 4 on the 8, it is on, but it's a lot thinner than this next camera angle is going to show you. Do I cut the 4 onto the 8, cue ball into the 6? That would hold the cue ball up top of the table. Do I bank it in this corner? I don't think so. Do I play a billiard? If I play a billiard, I feel like I can't control the 4-ball. So I'm going to play a thin snip. Any contact on the 8, I feel like it would pot. Maybe if I hit it into the rail, it might not pot. So I've got to hit the 8 fairly full, or just a little bit. So often I'll just come around here. I don't know why pros do this. I feel like it just gives you a better sight of the ball. So I know I've got to hit this thin. I'm going to try and use the 6-ball. Let me just double check. Yeah, the 6-ball. Just to hold the cue ball up there for the 8. Yeah, that's not bad. Played a good shot. Didn't hit the 6 exactly how I'd liked, but the main thing is we're at the table. Now, if you've noticed why I always keep the camera down that side, looking up this side, it's because down there, my games room's an absolute shambles. There's kids' bikes and garden furniture and all sorts. I will get that. I'm going to get that sorted though, because I want to get the camera all the way around to give you more angles. Right. No heroics here. Pot the 4 anywhere in this big circle and just give yourself a shot at the 5. And it's an orange 5, not a purple one. Purple's coming though, just warning you. Anywhere in this big circle will do. Yeah, that's nice. That was just a hair of left hand spin. Now, this is going to sound really, really stupid, But if you're playing all the time and you're tuned up, stunning off this side rail into there is an absolute hanger. When you're sat in the comms box and talking about doing that, it doesn't seem as easy. But I'm absolutely perfect on this ball, so it's just a little stun shot over here, anywhere for the 6. Oh, I'm decelerated. This is what happens. I think walking in and just racking the balls up and just diving straight into this type of video was a little bit naive because, as you can see, I'm not in stroke. I don't feel great on the cue, but we're going to persevere and we're going to carry on because I know a lot of you pool fans out there, when you go and play pool, you've been at work, you've had the kids, you've had a chance to warm up. So this is a true story of what's happening. Rack 2 coming up. Yeah, lost the cue ball again. Get in 1 ball. No, don't go in. I've got a tough shot on the 3 now. Uh-oh. 3 ball does not pass the green 6. 3 ball goes in the side, but that is really thin. Cue ball would track towards that corner, and potting the 3, I would have to hit that quite hard, so there's no control on the cue ball there, so that doesn't look nice. Safety shot in this instance. Yeah, there's a good safety shot on there. You could probably just bank the 3 up table, back down here. Cue ball in between these 2 balls. Sort of try and get it here. Yeah, that would leave your opponent hooked. If not hooked, then at least it's thrown down the gauntlet to them. Or, because this is YouTube, I can do what I want. I'm going to go for the pot in this corner. Now, in a match, scoreline, how good you're feeling, all these things would come in to the situation. In fact, going for the pot in this situation is low percentage for me. We all know why. Banking it up and down is high percentage because, well, it's an easier shot. So I'm going to play safe. Let's do it properly. Yeah, so you can hit it pretty bad like that. Didn't find the gap, but at least I've just stayed at the table that little bit longer. Now again, bear in mind how much practice you're putting in, you know, where your pool game's at, how fit are you, what is your mindset like, all these little things come into play. Now if I hadn't have flicked the 4 ball, I think the cue ball would have gone there. So obviously it was a bad shot, but it weren't as bad as you think. Now this is an interesting one. Same again, I think you've got to try and just bank the 3 back up here. There's the 5, the 7 and the 8. That could be your friend. Yeah, I'm just not quite at the races. I'm missing pace and all sorts. That was about 2 feet short, wasn't it? I'm going to have a go at the pot here though. Oh my word, this is disastrous. This is a disaster. I'm racking them up. Rack 3. Couple of okay shots there on the safeties. Just under it a little bit and found the wrong line on one of them. That 3 ball, well, I missed that by an absolute mile. So this is not the best of starts, it has to be said. However, sort of felt like this was going to happen. So we'll just get on with it. We'll try and persevere. Obviously, the more balls I keep hitting, the more feel I'm going to get. And, well, my game's going to come stronger with a bit of luck. Rack 3. Timing's all over the place on the break. It really is. That just shows you... Stop! That just shows you how good SVB was breaking at the World Championships, parking the cue ball time and time again. Good news and bad news. The good news is I fancy potting the 1, 2 and the 3. A 4's obviously easy. The 5 ball doesn't go anywhere. So if you get the cue ball around here, you've got a little billiard for a quick rack to pot the 9. Oh, I've got to just try and pot this and get a good cue ball here, but I don't know if I can do that. Is it in? Is it in? Oh. This is going to be a long video. Oh, that was a little better. Well, I said it was a little better. Where's the cue ball going? Right, okay, we're going to be playing a push here, but the cue ball was getting a little bit more towards the centre there, wasn't it? Right, where do you push to here? Tricky one. 3 ball doesn't go in the side. If you push down here, you're leaving a possible carom. That's not easy. No way, no real way of getting a safe 3 ball as well. Possible option. If you push to here, where do you go? Maybe across bank, but you're losing the cue ball, so that's no good. Don't push to there because the 3 pots, that'd be very silly. If you push to here, maybe that's an option. Decision time. If you push to this part of the table, you could maybe try and bank the 3. Well, that middle point might be in the way. You might be able to bank the 3 off here and sort of down there, get a good cue ball. Or I'm going to push out into a cheeky little billiard, I think. I'm going to push down into the corner. Yeah, this tip's quite a bit hard for me. Right, so what options have you got? Now, you might be thinking of playing the 3 up the rail, but if you miss that, the chances are you're going to leave something on. Scratch is not really on, it's a bit too far up the table. I'm going to try and play off the edge of the 3, cue ball into the 9, and hopefully get the 3 over to this side rail. Looking at this now, I'd have liked the cue ball to have been here. So it was a poor push, but we'll have a go. Could we send it round the table? No, the 3 is going to go towards them, so that's not really an option, not for me anyway. So let's just see. Try and make the 9 and get a safe 3. Try and make the 9 and get a safe 3. We've played a beauty. We've got the hook. At last, a shot come off that I played. So that was quite good. I'm happy with that. The thing to take from this is the more you play, the more feel you're going to get. And shots are going to start to seem a little bit easier. Even though I'm not quite there yet. Same again, just coming over the top of it. But that's quite common. When you're not quite getting the hit how you want it, you're putting a lot of power into it, you just maybe going over the cue ball a little bit too much. Next break, maybe just try and come a little bit left of the 1 ball, a mil or 2. But we're getting there, we are getting there. Right, what we got here? We got a bank shot. Right, we need to play properly. There's no point in me firing at banks and you know, and stuff like that. I've got to try and think how I would think in a match. Otherwise, there's no point of this, is there? So as I said, bank, not for me. If I play off the left side of the 1, cue ball, he can only really go down there. Can't really get a good 1 ball, can I? 1 ball is going to be tricky regardless. I think you've got to try and get the cue ball. See how I'm looking at these wall of balls? The 5, 4 and the 2 are all sort of blocking the cue ball if I put the cue ball here. So I'm just going to chip off this and just try and get a good cue ball. But what I'm also going to try and do is, no, I'm going to have a rethink. The problem with playing that is I'm chipping the 1 down here. I can't quite guarantee where it's going to go. And would I leave a jump shot? If I play it bad, would I leave an edge? So I think I'm going to try and get a good 1 ball. I think I'm going to try and bank the 1 off 2 rails in behind the 9, yeah, and just try and get the cue ball up here somewhere. I think that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, a little bit like this. Yep. I like that. I like that a lot. I would have liked the cue ball here, but in the back of my mind, I just knew I had to make sure I got the right line and make sure I get a good one ball. And he's hooked, so I'm more than happy with that. And there's no kick shot. Full ball hooked on the one. Can't see any of the rail. Only down there, so there's no kick. So I think the only option is, well, what do you do here? Got to jump over the 5, off this side rail, and I'm going to try and pot the 1 in that corner. Oh, it was a good hit. Did I get lucky? Nope, I can see an edge. I've got to go 2 rails here. Don't want to pot it in here. There's always a chance that that goes in there. Pace is key. Can't even reach this. I'm going to stretch and just see. Kick and stick. Yeah, not quite right, but I got away with it. Got away with it nice, actually. Just hit a little low on the 1. It wanted to be a little fuller. That would have caused the kick and stick. I'm going to rack them because, well, that weren't a bad effort, them 2 racks, was there? We'll take that. Just before we carry on, pool fans, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please smash that button. We're very close to 20,000 subscribers. That's a little bit of a milestone for me. I'm going to continue putting out these crazy, wacky, fun, cool videos. Hopefully that you're all enjoying. So let's get it going. The first 20,000 subscribers to the channel will be entered into the free draw, and it will be a good prize. Stay tuned for a video as we're approaching 20,000 to see what you could win. Yeah, that looked better, but it weren't. It was actually a really poor miss hit. That's why the cue ball is spinning, still spinning. Look at that. Come right across the cue ball, still spinning. Now, this is chicken and egg, because we've got a bad 2 ball, so there's no value in potting the 1. What is the point of that? There is no point of that. Could play a push. Interesting one, this. Do you play a push? No, you can't be pushing and opening the 2 ball, surely. That would be madness. Could play safe. Yeah, tricky spot. I'm going to do this. No, I'm not going to do this. Right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to say push. Now I've done that because JJ said Shane plays some really attacking push outs and he throws down the gauntlet, so that's what I've done. Now, if the cue ball was there, I feel like banking the 1 off the bottom rail back up, it could have double kissed. Now, I'm not saying this has made a massive difference, but I feel like maybe I could just avoid that now. That's what it looks like anyway. So, let's just say you come to the table and you pass it back. I'm going to do this. Well, now I'm behind it. I don't think it does. Let's just see. Oh yeah, I've played it well. I've played it real well. Just a little containing shot. A little bit of left-hand English just to avoid the double hit. 2 options. Do you play a carom, cue ball into the 2 and try and pot it? That is very, very attacking. Low percentages, I feel. Can't guarantee where the cue ball's going to go. Or do you just play a little containing shot? Try and get the cue ball over here and just the 1 ball over there. These 2 balls are in a direct line, so my target is a little slimmer than I'd like, but it's all about just trying to get a good 1 ball and a good 8, a good cue ball near the 8. I'm a safety player. I used to be terrible at safety. Look at this. Beautiful. Right, okay. Now we're kicking. We could maybe kick here with loads of left and hit it full, but if you go that way, nothing good can happen because there's no balls down here. So I think we've got to go off the bottom and try and kick the 1. Now, do we try and kick it off this side rail and pot the 3? Let me just have a look. Yeah, that's what I'm going to try. I'm going to come off this bottom rail with spin, and I'm going to try and hit around here. So when the cue ball fires up, it's the left side of the 1, and we pot the 3. Let's have a go. Oh, it was close, wasn't it? Just hit a little full. But at least I've made my opponent work for something. Now he's got to try and pot this 1 in the corner. Doesn't go in the side, it's full ball. You've got to attack it in the corner. But at least I'm making my opponent pot a tricky ball off the rail because I didn't give ball in hand. We made a good shot there though. Are we warming up a little bit? I believe we are. Now we just got to kill this 2 ball. So it's all about angles this. I know the 4's not on the top rail, so I'm just going to send the cue ball on that top rail. Any angle, I can manipulate the cue ball how I want it. Same again, 7's over there, so just pop this, come out there, a little bit of angle. Even if it was straight, you can draw back, but I've got a nice angle there. All about angles, as we've just been saying. Yep, that was a good shot. See how I used this second rail? On another day it might land there, it might land there, but coming this way I've always got a shot. If you try and play it into open space, often you underhit it and it stops there and you leave yourself a cheeky 9. So where was it? It was there. Last couple of racks, my game has gone up a notch or 2. I always knew that would do. If I stayed and played for 2 hours, 3 hours, my level, you know, I might start at a 500 and then might end up at around, well, it could be 800 or whatever, but you get the picture. The longer I play, the feeling comes back, the old muscle memory, the timing, the vision, everything. So put your hours in. Don't do what I'm doing. This is idiotic. Come on, park. This is the last rack. I've got to park the cue ball. Well, didn't park it, but it is getting better, that break. Oh, did I scratch? Well, this is interesting. I didn't scratch, but I'm jawed. I cannot see. I can't see the 1. I'm stuck behind the titty. Where do you push to here? Where do you push to here? The 1 ball is over the pocket, so wherever you push down here, they're going to pot it. If you can hear a hissing noise in the background, that's my coffee machine going off. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll the cue ball up towards the 6. I'm going to do it first and then we're going to explain. Right, so now my opponent's hooked. You can't jump it because there's too much distance. One of the balls will fly off the table. They're going to kick and try and make it. But they've got to try and make it. Cue ball looks like it's going to be crashing into the 4. So I'm just trying to bide a little bit of time. Plus they might put me back, but I don't think any of the top pros in the world would give this shot back because I feel like they all feel like they've got a chance of making it. It's just what happens after. They know the cue ball is going to be running into this sort of area. Is there a kick safe? Maybe. Could maybe kick off here and send the 1 back over here. It's an option. But I just think where this 1 ball is, I just feel like you've got a chance to make it. Yeah, where does it finish? So it was well educated, good shot, the vision was there, and this is what we're faced with. But it's a tricky push out, that. Sometimes the push outs, you've just got to try and tease them, and that's where you've got to work out if you're playing somebody that's not very good. So if you know you can make that shot a lot, and they're going to miss it, throw them little teasers in. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Missed that by a mile. I have missed that by a mile. I've got to set that back up. I must be jumping. Stay still. Stay still. Jeez. Something like that. Just stay still. Commit to the shot. That's better. Well, it's not that much better, but yeah, this Revo shaft, never really used it before. Feels very smooth. I'm going to do a review video soon. But when you're playing with spin and stuff like that, it's not really the equipment I'm used to. Like I say, it's a different brand of tip. Right, I'm going to pop this, and I'm going to go 1, 2 into this big area. That means I can just focus on the pot. Cue ball looks quite natural. There you see, it's going to bounce off okay. Oh, I say it's going to bounce off. Yeah, it's not bad. Now this is the prime example where you've got to be really comfortable with your equipment, because I've landed just off straight, so I can't draw the cue ball back here. And if I draw the cue ball back, it's kind of going to draw back into this area. So I've got a force draw. This is not easy at all. So I'm aiming a little bit lower, and it's not put your cue right through the cue ball, but it's not stun it. It's like an in-between. That's what's hopefully going to get the reaction and get the cue ball over here. But it is a horrible, horrible shot. But it might be the best shot I've played all day. Yeah, you see how it didn't stun over here? And it didn't draw back in that line of them two balls. Little stun draw. What a cheeky shot that is. Right, anywhere here, just pop your ball, come up, anywhere there, and you're happy. You need to stay still. That's a little bit better. I'll walk this way. That's nice. I'm happy with that. All about angles. Just have a walk around here. All I'm doing here is checking. If I leave the cue ball near the top rail, that means the 8's a little thinner than I'd like. So I want it about a ball off that top rail. Yep, it's going to come. This is nice. This is nice indeed. Simple. 1 over there. Anywhere down there. You can do that shot till the cows come home. You're always going to have a shot on the 9. Doesn't matter if it's near the rail. That is how I play pool. When I'm at the table, they're the things I am thinking about. Each shot, kick shot, attacking shot, all this. I hope you could sort of get to grips with how I was thinking and the percentages and all that. Now, I started off really bad, I think we can all agree. But I did get a little bit better. The more racks, the more shots I was playing, even the break started to improve. So I showed signs that there's something still a little bit there. But that weren't the point of the video. The point is to let you pool fans into the brain of me and how I think, and maybe some of the other pros think, when they're playing pool.